Hello world, it's Lee Kelson coming to you live again, day 2 from Start Me Up Festival Hong Kong 2019, and I am joined here by Bosco Leung. Bosco is an Italian name, you just told me.
Yep, it's my Christian name and I'm proud of it.
Now, Bosco, you're with MTR, so we go all over the world with our channel. For people that aren't familiar with MTR, tell us what MTR is.
Okay, so MTR is a metro operator, so we carry 5.5 million passengers in Hong Kong, but we also operate in 7 different cities in the world, so including Melbourne, Hangzhou, Shenzhen, Beijing, Stockholm, and London. So we carry actually more passengers overseas than in Hong Kong, and we have like 30,000 employees around the world.
Wow,
Yep.
30,000. Now, you're part of the innovation team. Yep. And so tell us, first of all, what were you talking about today at the conference, because you've just got off stage?
Yep, so today we are mainly talking about our corporate innovation program. We actually run a pop-up accelerator that actually enable the startup to have expedite access to MTR to do the proof of concept. Because when we talk to the startup, I think the greatest challenge that they face is that when they work with the corporate, they can't get through to the procurement process, and there's so much engagement rules, and then they can't actually compete with the big guys like Microsoft, IBM, Accenture. But through our program, we actually want to enable them to provide them the arena to test out their ideas and concepts, and at the same time help us to become a more agile and a dynamic company.
Right. So it's really about corporate innovation, and so people that have ideas or have a proof of concept, they can come to you, join your program, and you're saying that 5 out of 5, if 5 go through, will get that proof of concept up. Is that?
Yep, definitely. So for last year program, the first ever MTR Corporate Accelerator program, we got 5 winning startups, and we make all of them actually conduct the POC in the business in 8 weeks. So just for benchmarking, so most of the corporate accelerator, they got 10 companies in a cohort, but usually 1 or 2 of them actually can go through the POC and actually get the product launch. So for us, I would say we actually carry this out with 5% of the budget of the corporate accelerator, but at the same time, we arguably deliver 10 times better because we got 100% of the POC complete in a corporate. Right. So the first one of the startup actually get into business in just 10 days.
Wow.
So before this program, 10 days would be just the time that for us to finish our requirement specification and get approved and probably go out to solicit the business proposal. So we're trying to use the speed to create a difference in the ecosystem. Right. So we also want to set example in the ecosystem that even big guys like us can move fast, and actually big guys like us can also work together for a win-win situation with the startup company.
So tell me, why is it important for corporate innovation? And why is it important that large companies like you, where you've got 30,000 employees, to become more agile and nimble? Is it because the guys in the garage are disrupting you?
Well, to be frank, I think our transportation business are quite stable, but you can't ignore that there's a lot of solutions out there that could potentially disrupt us, like mobility. Right. So we do see the potential disruption in future, although it's not quite near future, but I do think that we have to look ahead. So I think one of the purpose of the team here, in the strategy innovation, is for us to help the company to move forward, to be aware of the disruption, and also but together we build an ecosystem that in future both us can survive better, but at the same time we can win together with the startup.
Yeah. So I think it's an interesting topic because ride sharing came along, and there's been a lot of debate obviously since ride sharing and Uber and Grab and Gojek and others. Where the taxi industry sort of said, oh, well, this isn't fair and we need to block it and etc. And I understand both sides of the argument, but one of my observations is that those taxi industries have been around for decades. They had ample opportunity to innovate. Did they get caught standing flat-footed?
Well, I guess just like every corporation is that there's an inertia. And I think corporate being corporate is that, or organization being organization is that they already find their most comfortable way of stay alive. So it's their business model or their way of life. So just like the body, it's very natural for them to just fight off the new things. The new things just like Weibo. Sometimes I'll take the allergies. So I see the value of my team is that we are more like the vaccine for the company.
Yes.
So we actually ingest some of the new ideas in a way that the company feel comfortable, so that the company can actually become a more healthy organization.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same for other organizations.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just being too comfortable, and then suddenly then there's disruption.
Yes.
So that's the whole point that we exist, I think.
Yeah. No, and I think that's a good point. So that you're a bit ahead of the game, and you know, if you think about it, the taxi industry could have come up with the same technology that ride sharing came up with 10 or 15, 20 years ago, right?
I think the other difference like recently is that there's so many like different companies in US, like in Silicon Valley, in China, that they're pushing forward the data different like applications, and I think it actually liberates a lot of different economic forces in the society.
Yeah.
So I think it does bring a difference, and I think also the dynamics of the people, like in China, like people were used to mobile. So by using the mobile, it gives a lot of data, and then people are also more open to innovation. So I think this is the environment and the technology and the abundance of data actually create the fertile grounds for the new innovation. So I guess in Hong Kong it may come a little bit later, but it will come eventually.
Yeah. Bosco, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's a great vibe here at the conference. Have you been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Like in this morning, I like this kind of like textile lifestyle. Yeah, so it was like 10 minutes. Like every 10 minutes, you got something new that spark your new ideas, and then you think that, okay, how I can do better, or like how I can work with that guy. Like you're getting like constant bombardment of new ideas, and I think this kind of conversation should carry forward.
Yeah.
Though I would really love if they actually allow like some Q&A session that people in the floor can actually interact with the speakers. So I think this is a way that people can actually learn from each other and much interactive way. So maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Okay, thanks, Bosco. Keep watching Beach City, and don't forget to subscribe to Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival 2019 YouTube channel. We'll be back with more right after the coffee break.